This is the Coffee Playdate podcast, and I am Dr. Olga Deengar, hospitalist, mom of 3 under 6, and a life coach for women physicians and professionals. On this podcast, I spotlight entrepreneurs and doctorpreneurs who are doing incredible things beyond traditional medicine. You'll hear the real-life stories behind their mindset shifts, the challenges they've overcome, and the practical advice that they share to support aspiring entrepreneurs on their own paths. Welcome to the Coffee Playdate podcast. I have a very special guest with me today, Mr. Jack Shukman. Welcome.
Hi, great to be here.
Thank you for coming on. First, I'd like to start off by asking if you drink coffee.
I don't. I'm one of these crazy people who gave it up fully like a year and a half ago. So strict, no caffeine for me.
That's great. What made you give it up?
Actually, I was kind of addicted and I needed like 3 or 4 cups a day just to get through the day. And at one point I just realized, you know what, I don't like the feeling of needing a coffee just to feel normal again. So I went cold turkey.
Yes. Wow. That is very brave and courageous of you to do. I can't do that yet. That's awesome. So we're going to start with our first game. It's the rapid fire questions game. I'm going to ask you to choose between one answer or the other, and just give me the one that you like more. You don't need to explain yourself. Just go with your gut instinct. Ready?
Ready.
All right. Giving a keynote speech at a conference or a silent retreat in the mountains?
Silent retreat.
How about a strict bedtime or going with the flow?
Ooh, strict bedtime.
Good. How about a small dinner party or a big social gathering?
Big social gathering.
Cool. And the last one, lullabies or guided meditation to get the baby to sleep?
It's lullabies. We haven't tried guided meditations with our little baby yet. So lullabies are the answer.
So the next game is called Take a Sip. It's the same concept as the rapid fire questions game, but this time, if our answers match, we have to take a sip from our coffee cups. Here we go.
Great. I've got my decaffeinated tea with me.
Beautiful. First question, morning or evening meditation?
Morning.
Evening.
Interesting.
Next one, a short 5-minute meditation session or a 30-minute deep dive?
It's got to be 30-minute deep dive.
I wish I had 30 minutes to deep dive. I'm going to go with 5 minutes. It's a little more practical for me in this season of life.
I get it.
Next one, eyes open or eyes closed during meditation?
Eyes closed for me.
Me too. I love
All
eyes.
right. Cheers.
And the last question, structured routine or more spontaneous meditation practice?
I love a structure. I love a structured routine. Yeah.
Me
definitely.
too. It's a daily practice for me. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers again.
All right. Perfect. So, Jack, a lot of our listeners may not know about you or who you are. So would you be able to introduce yourself and tell us the incredible work that you're doing?
Sure. So I am the CEO and co-founder of a meditation app called The Way. And The Way is really kind of a very unique thing. It's the only meditation app where when you open it, there's only one thing you can do, which is session 1. And after that, there's only one thing you can do again, which is session 2. And then so on, session 3, 4, 5. So it's really this, we call it the single path, and it's there to guide you and support you over a really long-term period of practice. Actually, there's 1,000 meditation sessions in the app. And that journey takes you deep, deep, deep into thousands of years of meditation tradition. And the only reason that we're able to do that is because my co-founder, who is also my meditation teacher and my uncle, Henry Shukman, is the only teacher and the voice in the app. So it's a joint project. We do it together.
This is incredible. And I'm a huge fan of The Way. It's been my meditation app for a very long time. I love that it has only one path. Like there are no other choices. So it really takes that decision fatigue away. And meditation in and of itself helps me stay grounded. It helps me control my emotions better on a regular basis. Like when my little one starts drawing with crayons all over the walls, I don't freak out anymore. I just kind of go with it and be more calm when I approach that kind of stressful situation. But anyway, let's go back to I wanted to ask you, what's it like working with your uncle? Do you think this has been a really good collaboration? Has it had some of its challenges too?
Do you know what? It's been amazing, actually. And it's been amazing on a few different levels. He and I are very different in many ways. He's a very kind of creative person, and I'm very I love a process and a spreadsheet and having like a system in place. And so actually those two kind of and of course he's a a real specialist. I mean, he studied Zen and meditation for nearly 40 years at this point, and I'm much more of a generalist. Like I have a bit of a background in a few different business areas. So we were really able to kind of meet as, student and teacher, uncle and nephew, specialist and generalist. And it's just been an amazing kind of collaboration. And the other thing is that, like, of course, I'm biased. I think he's a wonderful, cool dude and a wonderful meditation teacher. And I love just getting to work with him and learn from him every day.
Yeah, it's so incredible to have completely like two very different perspectives coming together. And you have more of the business side of things, and he has, of course, the Zen mastery. Do you ever meditate together?
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you know
amazing.
what? Actually, Henry was also the officiant at my wedding when my wife and I got married a few years ago. And one of the most amazing meditations I ever remember is just before we were going to go out and the ceremony was going to begin. And I was so nervous. Oh my God, I was a mess. I was sweating, I was trembling. And we did it was a 5 minute, not a deep 30 minute deep dive, but it was a 5 minute little sit together. And he could just tell that I was so, like on edge. And we just had this little moment. And of course, it helped calm me down. And it was, yeah, just like this beautiful little shared moment. So, and when we meet up, because we don't live in the same country, but when we meet up, it's amazing to get to sit with him.
That is amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. It helped you get rid of some of those jitters.
For sure, for sure, for sure. And then I was able to go and, do my vows just afterwards. Keep it together, just.
Just incredible. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the business. The Way is a meditation app, and I'm sure as you were first starting out and stepping into the space, there were some other apps, some competition out there. Did you have any fears going into this new field?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people said we were crazy. They were like, hey guys, do you not realize that meditation apps already exist? Actually, when we started, there were 3,000 meditation apps on the App Store already. So
Wow.
people were like, what are you going to do? Who's going to want another meditation app? So that was definitely like a big fear we had. And I think what got us through actually was that we had this really strong conviction, this really strong belief that was based on about a lot of research that we did and a lot of user interviews that we did, and also Henry's perspective as a teacher, which is that actually, all these other meditation apps that when you open it, it feels like Netflix. It's just like so many thousands of options. And we had the strong belief that that wasn't, we thought, the best way of helping someone nurture their practice on a long step by step journey. And so, yeah, we had this kind of crazy idea of no choice. And that was something that really was like a really guiding design principle from the beginning. And so, because of that, that was sort of like the North Star we always worked towards. And, uh, and yeah, that was like our crazy plan. And it worked. We were very lucky, but that was something that people have responded really, really well to and have really appreciated. Um, so, that's a little bit how we kind of approached it.
So you stayed true to your vision and you did not deviate from it at all.
Yeah, and you know what? It was hard. It was really hard. Like, it makes a lot of sense. When we were building it and testing it and designing it, there were lots of times when we were like, should we have some choice? Really, this thing about no choice in so much of our lives, you know, shopping online or I don't know, going to the grocery store, it's like there's choice everywhere. So it did seem very like against the current of a lot of how things are set up today. And so we questioned ourselves sometimes, like maybe we should just put in, here there could be A or B, and the student could pick. So we really had to, yeah, fight to stay true to that design principle.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a lot of temptation too because of the world we live in.
For sure, for sure, yeah.
Are there any mindset tools that helped you on your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah. Is it a cliche to say meditation? I mean, you know, I really believe that, and this isn't solely what you don't need meditation to have this perspective, I believe, but meditation is a nice way of fostering it. But like, the process or the journey has to be enough. It's if you're working always just for like a goal of like, we want to hit this many users or this much revenue or this much money or something that you can't control. I think that's a recipe for unhappiness. But what we can control is like the process and the work and the team spirit and the collaboration. And if we can put all our energy and focus into like a really, yeah, like fun and healthy and hard work, but like a really like robust process, and we're happy with that, and of course, then we're going to check the results, but we're not going to lose our minds or our sleep over what those results are going to be. I think that's a mindset that I believe really helps. And that can be true of any project, like writing a book or I don't know, maybe raising kids. I don't know. I don't have enough experience to say that yet. But you know, it's like the journey is not the destination, is what we focus on.
Yeah. It sounds like when you put in that focus, that energy into creating a good workplace culture and a good environment for your colleagues, for yourself, it's almost like work becomes play.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I mean, I think we try and do some things actually in our little mini, you know, our little team. We have 7 people now, so we always start every team meeting with a meditation session. Henry will lead it if he's on the call, or we'll use the app if not. And we will, you know, we always take time to like, yeah, have some. I mean, we're a remote team, so everyone's online, but we always take some time to, yeah, like play some games together, have some fun when we're doing our workshops and our brainstorming. And when we get together as well every 6 months or so to do like an offsite, and then we do lots of fun team activities then. But, you know, I don't want to say that like it's 100% play because it's not. Of course there's always going to be hard work, and that's part of it, and there's always going to be things that go wrong, and there's going to be bugs, and there's going to be things that don't work as we expected them to, and we have to change. But yeah, I do think trying to hold it as lightly as possible, I think, is a really healthy thing.
Yes, I love that you're on this mission to lighten up the workplace. That's amazing. Now, speaking of kind of giving back to your coworkers or your loved ones, I wanted to ask you, was there an experience that you've created for them that was completely unforgettable or very meaningful that maybe took a little more out of your budget, but it was totally worth it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very top of mind for me right now because we're about to, in a couple of weeks, go and have our one of our offsites. But for me, the we when we first started the company, Henry and I felt like it was really important for everyone to see kind of like the source, as it were, which is the Zen center where Henry taught at for many years before we did the way, which is in Santa Fe in New Mexico. It's called Mountain Cloud Zen Center, and it's a beautiful place in the mountains. Incredible room with an amazing energy when you meditate in there. And so yeah, we took everyone there and we had a whole week together, and we had a lot of meditation, a lot of sitting, a lot of time kind of at this place where Henry had taught, and that felt really special for like just focusing everyone really on like the core mission of the project around the teaching and the like the positive transformation that meditation can have for people. So that felt like a really special thing, and I'm really excited because in a couple of weeks we're going to go back to Santa Fe again with some new team members and kind of do this again, but this time with a bit of a bigger team.
That's incredible. And do you often do these offsite visits to the Zen Center? I mean, this sounds like maybe an annual thing for your team.
Yeah, we try and do it every 6 months or so. It's not like a perfect 6 months. And we always try as well and do, we move around different locations. We have some folks in Europe, some folks in America. So we do move around. Where we're possible, we always try and have it so that it's next to one of our live events that we do. So we host also like meditation retreats for our app users to come together that Henry will lead. And so we do those in like our big cities, like in LA, in New York, in London, and Amsterdam. And it's really fun for the team to get to join those as well, because then they're really like sitting with the people that we're building the app for. And we get to meet them and understand like how they're finding it and what we can do to help improve the app. And it just feels really, really real. So that's kind of like one thing, how we try and organize these offsites.
You are connecting with your app users very regularly. I think not a lot of business people can say that. Like you're actually meeting them in person and getting their feedback, getting their thoughts, and just getting to know them as human beings. That's really
Yeah,
special.
it's amazing. It's so powerful because it is, you know, we try very hard always to put ourselves in the eyes or the mindset of a user or of a student who's using the app. But it's sometimes very hard, you know, like we're sitting on a Zoom call trying to figure out what they're thinking, and they're not on the Zoom call with us, you know, and we have data and we have user interviews, but it's not the same as like being in person with 100 app users, like right there in the room. So
Yeah,
that's really special.
that's so cool. I do want to ask you, is there a piece of advice that you would give someone else who's starting out in a similar space as you?
Yeah, I think I would say that, if a space or sector or an industry or whatever is very competitive and very crowded, that doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't try. Like, I think a lot of the conventional wisdom would be don't touch it, do something else. But actually, I think what we've shown is that if you have a strong opinion or a new way of doing something or a differentiation, then people will be interested and people will try you and people will uh, are open to a new, in our case, a new kind of meditation app. So, it can be a little bit scary, but I don't think it's not the end of the world. You should definitely still try.
Are you saying it's important to follow your passion?
Also that for sure. Yeah. I'm very fortunate that I get to work in something I'm passionate about every day. It's amazing.
I love that advice. And it is so important to really follow your what's meaningful to you, what's most important to you in your life and focus in on that because as you can tell, of course, you can build a business out of it and be really successful and bring value to people. And I think that's the more important part is that you're actually contributing to a greater community. There's so many people worldwide that you've reached because of your app. It's incredible.
It's an amazing thing. Yeah, there's 200,000 people now who've downloaded it, which is very, very cool. And it's definitely true what they say. Like on a hard day, on a tough day, when something goes wrong and we're racing to fix it, or maybe we've missed a deadline that we wanted to hit. The reminder of what we're trying to do and the mission we're on, and that we're helping people meditate and helping people find a little bit of stillness and calm and peace and understanding in their lives. It's like it's worth it. It's totally worth it. And now and again, we'll get an email or a message in the app from a student that says that they've just found a little bit more kind of openness and spaciousness and understanding in their day. And it's like, yes, we've done it. We're doing it. That's amazing. And it's very inspiring.
It helps fuel that momentum, keeps you going for sure.
Definitely. Because it's a long journey. We've been working on this now for nearly 3 years. And I hope we're going to be working on it for another 30.
Incredible. It is a long journey, and I'm sure someone like you reads a lot of books. Is there a book that you would recommend to our listeners today?
There is. And, I've just got to do it. It is actually my Uncle Henry's book, Original Love. It's his map and manifesto and just how he sees meditation. And it really is kind of like a companion piece to the app. I mean, the app is really the daily practice of the book that he wrote, Original Love. And it was a very, very, very transformative book for me. And it's actually really shaped not only my practice, but my life. So maybe I'm cheating a little bit because he's my uncle, but that is my book recommendation. And I hope folks go out and read it.
Jack, how many times have you read that book?
Probably 4 or 5 now. Yeah,
Amazing.
probably 4 or 5. I read a very, he was very kind and shared with me like an early draft. And then I've also read a couple of times the one that's been published. And I've gone back to different chapters, to like remind myself on some things every so often.
And do you feel like every time you read it, you get something new, something like get a different perspective, something you didn't really find before?
Yeah, definitely. And there's also something where there's like a bit of a comfort, like you're reading something that you've already read and you almost know exactly what it's going to say, but you just like read it because it's just like having a nice, I don't know, like a warm bath or a cup of decaffeinated tea. It's like this little comforting thing that you can kind of go back to.
I love that. Well, Jack, thank you so much for joining us today. You've given us a lot of amazing insights on your entrepreneurial journey, and I loved all of the stories that you've shared with us. So thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to the Coffee Playdate podcast. This episode is designed to help you stay driven, aligned, build momentum, and take action on your entrepreneurial journey. That's my Dhamma method in motion. If you enjoyed this conversation, hit subscribe and share it with one other person who you think would benefit from it. And when you're ready to live life on your own terms, book a discovery call at coacholgamd.com to see if one-on-one coaching with my Dhamma method is your next move.